this is what I wish I would have done, but I'm kind of glad I didn't do it because I wouldn't have learned this lesson. This is how I learned to drive a manual car again. I relearned to drive manual in Australia. When I was younger, back when I was 15, and in the US, that's when you get your learner's permit where you can start to drive with a parent. My mom tried teaching me in a Subaru Outback, a manual Subaru Outback. I think it was a 2004 or 2006 model. And I was scared, let's just say I was scared to drive because there was so many things happening. You have to learn how to shift the gears. You got to learn your spatial awareness on the road, and it was just too much stimulus all at once. So I stopped learning manual after that first or second attempt, and eventually we got an automatic car, which I was able to learn on, do my test, get my driver's license, and you know, from that point on, 5-6 years, I didn't touch a manual ever. I think there was a couple of times where I had to, you know, drive it a couple of times, but I never learned to drive it as a daily like I do now. And this leads me to the Australia aspect. So here I am, it's March of 2020. I'm looking for a car because I have no car. I'm taking public transport everywhere. And in the US, we drive everywhere. I don't remember the last time I took public transport, you know, in the US. So, you know, I'm accustomed to driving, so it's just part of my life. Yes, it costs a little bit, you know, maintenance and such, but I enjoy to drive. And so I was looking for a car here in Australia to, you know, continue being able to drive, you know, because like I said, I really enjoy it. And so I'm looking on Facebook Marketplace, you know, I see a couple cars here, a couple cars there, and, you know, I'm just like, man, what's gonna be my car, you know, because also, I don't just want to get like some Toyota Camry, like, I want something that I'm gonna enjoy to be inside, that I'm gonna enjoy, you know, driving. And so I stumbled upon this Subaru Forester, this 1998 Subaru Forester. It had some aftermarket wheels on it. It was slightly lowered. As I found out later, they put Chinese, you know, some cheap Chinese brand coilovers on, which ended up breaking. I found this car and I was like, all right, this is the one. But the only thing is it was a manual. So, like I said, I hadn't driven manual much throughout my life. And also this was now going to be on the other side of the car. So it was like two things changing all at once. Driving on the wrong side and learning manual again. But something inside me told me, you know what? You got to learn. Like, you can't be a man without knowing how to drive a manual. Essentially, that was my sort of mindset. And so I said, okay, fine. I'm going to get it and just gonna learn how to drive it. But for the test drive, I actually had one of my friends that I met along the way drive it because I wasn't confident in my abilities to drive the manual because it'd been so long since I had done it. From what he said, it sounded all right. Of course, we were no mechanics at the time. We couldn't find all these issues that were gonna come up. It drove, it shifted gears, all right, it looks good. That was the extent of our testing on the car. Just seeing, oh, did it drive? Yep. Does it shift gears, blinkers, all that stuff works, brake lights, etc. Looks all right. And from there, I was left with this manual car that I had to learn how to drive, that was parked on the street, and I took it on short drives that really got my heart going because, you know, I was like, oh, and especially because the car was so loud. It had a very loud exhaust. it makes it feel even more like scary when you're not used to driving a manual car. So I would take it to our local Foodland, maybe a mile away, and just did these short little trips. And then eventually, because my now wife at the time, she was just my girlfriend, we lived sort of across town. And so the next step was to start taking this car across town to go visit her, to pick her up, come back to my house, and then so on and so forth. And so my exposure to driving the manual car started to grow and grow, and my confidence started to grow. Some issues did start to happen. I had clutch fork and timing belt things I had to do, and yeah, the list of things on that Forester just is quite a long list. But I learned from that experience that it's important to, get a pre-purchase inspection or do your full solid check. And this is what I wish I would have done, but I'm kind of glad I didn't do it, because I wouldn't have learned this lesson. I would have learned it later on maybe an even more expensive car. So it's good that I learned it now. And at the same time, I learned how to drive manual. It's been fun, to be honest. I can't see myself not driving manual ever again. I mean, of course, the occasional, specialty cars here or there that only come in automatic, I'll drive those. Or maybe what I like to probably do is get a Forester, like one of the newer Foresters. If I was to have like a garage of cars, a newer Forester that, comes in a automatic, that would be fine, for some camping sort of things or off-roading on the beach. But in terms of my daily driver or my, enthusiast drive, always a manual. And it's crazy to think that there was one point in my life that I thought I would never drive manual. So it's not in the cards for me. But I decided on that first car I bought in Australia that I'm going to get a manual. I'm going to learn, regardless of how long it takes, how, crappy I am at shifting the gears, how many times I stall it. I'm just going to learn how to drive it. And here I am, driving it seamlessly every day. It feels magical. It's like a superpower that you feel like you can drive anything. And yeah, that's my story about, learning to drive manual in Australia. We'll drive manual at all in that case. But yeah, if you guys like this video, give it a like, or subscribe as well. I wouldn't mind a subscribe. I plan on making a bit more. Well, you guys already know I'm gonna make more videos. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. So I'm just gonna sit here while my outro plays, because yeah, I think videos at the end are supposed to be more engaging with the credits or something. I don't know. You guys let me know. And I gotta start looking here, because I keep looking over there because I've got like a screen, but I need to look at you. Yeah. All right. Anyways, guys, ciao.